Hello. I'm Preston Foster, coming your way with another episode of Waterfront.
Hi, Terry.
What's up, Terry? I've been getting messages all over you. You're very anxious to talk to me.
Well, you know that Dad entered the Albatross in the Honolulu yacht race.
Oh, yeah. He asked Carl and I to go along some time ago.
Well, as you know, Carl's in Seattle. Now, all of a sudden, Dad can't go. So?
So?
Well, so, thought maybe you'd go.
Oh, Terry, I don't see how I can. We're kind of short-handed now.
Oh, please, it would be loads of fun. And Dad said if you go, we can still enter the boat in the yacht race.
Terry, a couple of our skippers are on vacation, and
But if you don't go, I don't think he'll let me go.
What does he want me for, a crew member or a chaperone?
Can't think of a better chaperone. Or sailor.
That's another thing. Racing sailboats is a little bit out of my line.
Well, you don't have to worry about that. Dad talked to Stan White down at the yacht club this morning, and he's had loads of experience in yacht races. He'll be skipper.
How many do you need for this crew?
Oh, 4 or 5 will do it. I've already asked Ed Henley. He's that nice Coast Guard lieutenant. He'll work crew for us.
Coast Guard renting out their officers for yacht races now?
Oh, ask Ed. Here he comes.
Hi, Ed.
Hello, John. Hi, Terry.
Hi, Ed.
How you doing?
No complaints, John. No complaints at all.
I can understand that if all you have to do is go on yacht races.
No, not quite. See, I was doing Honolulu in 2 weeks anyway.
Oh, well, it's nice to have it work out so right.
It won't work out so right if you don't agree to go.
You're having trouble convincing him, Terry?
Well, he hasn't really said yes yet.
I'd like to go, but we're short-handed right now, Ed. I don't see how I can.
Oh, you'll be back sooner than you think. I'm going over to pick up a Grumman amphibian and fly it back.
Yeah?
Then could Captain John fly back with you?
Why, sure. Why not? You could get permission as a Coast Guard auxiliary officer.
Well, Captain John, what do you say to that,
You win.
Oh! Oh, Stan, I'd like you to meet the rest of our crew. This is Captain John Herrick and Lieutenant Ed Henley.
Hiya.
Our skipper, Stan White.
Nice to have a couple of experienced men on the crew.
Well, racing across the Pacific is not exactly our line.
It doesn't have to be. I'll be in charge. Get your gear stowed and get ready for sailing orders.
Suppose he carries a whip?
And as soon as we reach the outer harbor, the auxiliary motor goes off and we don't turn it on again until the race is over. We'll set our main and jockey for positions on the starting line. Once we're underway, we'll go off on a tack to the south. I want the change of sails at the start to be made as quickly as possible, so don't waste any time about it once I give the word. Let's get those sails ready now.
I'm beginning to get the feeling this is no pleasure cruise. Did Captain Bligh have any children?
What do you mean, children? That is Captain Bligh.
All right, Miss Van Buren, let's get with those sails.
Stan, Captain John and Ed have had a lot of experience. Maybe not as much as you've had racing yachts, but they've been around. Look, don't treat them like hired hands. After all, we came on this trip to have a little fun.
You've got to have discipline aboard a sailing vessel. We might as well establish it right from the start.
But
We're approaching the starting line, Miss Van Buren. Let's get those sails ready.
All right, now, set the main.
20 minutes. We're out of sight of most of the other boats already.
I heard most of the boats never see any other boat all the way over.
All of them take slightly different courses. Depends on their size and how they're rigged. You don't really know how you stand until you get into Honolulu.
Think we stand much chance of winning?
Well,
Oh, sure we do. Why, the Albatrosses won lots of local races. That's why Dad entered her in this race. Oh, who cares if we win or not? Just being here is fun.
Mr. Herrick.
yes, sir. Say something about fun?
Tell Miss Van Buren to prepare supper for you and Mr. Henley, and get some sleep. You and Mr. Henley will relieve Miss Van Buren and me at midnight.
You and Terry standing this watch together?
That's correct, Mr. Herrick. Why?
Oh, I just thought I'd ask. Ed, little break for us. Terry gets the watch with Captain Bly.
Oh, he's not so bad, Captain John. He just takes himself a little seriously as skipper.
Yeah.
You unbend. I'll go below and fix up some grub,
I'll help you. Coming below, Ed?
No, I'll stay up here a while. I don't want the Admiral to get lonesome.
Okay. We've had supper. If it's all right with you, Ed and I'll go up forward a bit and then grab some sleep.
Fine. If we need you for anything, we'll ring the bell. We'll wake you for your watch at 12.
Yes, sir.
Why didn't Carl Herrick come along?
He had to go on a tow job in Seattle. It's really a darn shame, too.
Oh, we don't need him.
I would have liked him to come.
I'm sorry your father wasn't able to come,
And so am I.
but I'm glad he picked me for the job.
You seem to have the experience for it. But why don't you unbend a little,
I will, when we get to Honolulu. But on the trip, I must maintain discipline. I want your father to know that he made a good choice when he picked me.
What's the matter?
Nothing at all. I just want to do a good job for your father.
I love the way the Admiral worked it so he'd stand watch with Terry.
Well, that's one of the advantages of being a skipper.
If Carl knew Terry was up on deck with that guy, he'd start swimming after us. You know something? He'd catch us.
Relax. I'm his father. I'm not worrying. Why should you?
Because I'm his friend. Well, I guess I'll turn in.
Yeah, me too.
Steady as you go on this course, Mr. Herrick, until 2 o'clock. Then come about and head into the wind south by southwest. If you have any trouble in coming about, just ring the bell.
I think we can handle it all right.
Well, let's be sure about it. If you have any doubts, call me.
Yes, sir.
Better get some sleep, Miss Van Buren.
I will in a few minutes.
Good night.
Why did your father ever pick him?
You know something, Captain John? The whole thing's beginning to clear up for me.
How come?
Well, at the yacht, he's always made sort of a point of trying to cultivate either me or Dad. Always going out of his way to try to do something for us. Seems awfully anxious to make an impression on Dad. Well, when he heard that he wasn't going on this trip, did he make a pitch for the job?
Why?
Well, not that I'm getting to know Mr. White, but I have a feeling he wants Dad to give him the job so he can prove what a big executive type he is.
Well, I don't think much of his manner, but I guess you can't blame a young fella for trying to get ahead.
You can if he pushes other people around to do it.
All that should happen is that we win this race, and your father will be working for him.
Oh, that'll be the day. Night.
Hi. How's the Admiral this morning?
He's below working on the chart.
I better go take a look, see how we're doing. How we doing, Skipper?
Everything seems to be in order. We're right on course.
How far do you figure we've come?
Well, we did what we figured to do the last 24 hours. We're right on schedule. If you'll excuse me, I have something to do.
Have you eaten anything today?
Why?
You look a little drawn. Maybe you need some food.
Don't worry about me, Mr. Herrick.
How we doing?
The Admiral didn't seem too anxious to give out any information.
Do you think he knows where we're going?
You want an honest answer?
I know this is a fine time to be asking this question, but what recommendation did he have, other than his own?
Well, he certainly sounded experienced. True, Dad didn't have a chance to check up on him, but from Stan, he sounded well qualified. You're not really worried about him, are you?
I don't know, but down below just now, I had a pretty sneaking suspicion our masterful admiral's getting seasick.
That's impossible.
He didn't look this green yesterday. Did he eat any breakfast?
Not very much. Said he was too busy. Maybe that explains it.
Explains what?
Well, he acted kind of funny last night and today.
Well, if anybody's gonna get sick, it couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
This is no joke, Ed. Navigating a trip like this is a pretty serious thing. If he falls up on us, we're in real trouble. I better have a good talk with that guy.
Ed, could we really be in trouble if Stan's sick?
Let's face it, this isn't the chair of land, and it isn't an airplane or a helicopter. Neither Captain John nor I lay any claim to being transoceanic yachtsmen.
Aren't you supposed to be a watch, Mr. Herrick?
I want to talk to you, Stan.
Stan, you're a watchman?
Now, listen, Sonny. I can go along with a gag as good as the next fellow, but this has gone far enough.
What do you mean, gag?
I'm going to ask you a question. Just answer yes or no. Don't try to nod or shake your head. I don't think you can stand it. You seasick?
I may have a slightly upset stomach.
All right, come on now, level with me. Just how sick are you? Is this something that's going to pass off, or is it one of those buttes that'll blossom into something real miserable?
You'll have to excuse me.
That answers the question.
How's the Admiral doing?
Well, I just looked in on him. He's lying in his bunk, and he doesn't look very good to me.
Doesn't make sense. Experienced seaman getting sick that suddenly.
You think he's really sick or just gold-breaking?
He sure looks sick to me.
Sure does.
Yeah, right.
How do you feel, son?
I'm all right.
Yeah, you look great. Come on, let's have it straight.
But I guess I don't feel so good.
You usually get this seasick?
Oh, never. Not even in rough water.
Hey, that's all. I think he's got the mumps.
Be darned if it don't look like the mumps. I thought that was for kids.
It is, usually. When an adult gets it, it's no joke.
Is there anything we can do for him?
Not much. Just better take it easy.
I can't take it easy. I'm the skipper. I gotta run this boat.
Yeah? Where's your chart? Okay. Yeah. You just stay in that bunk.
Here. Said you'd like some coffee. Oops.
Good idea. Thanks.
How we doing?
Oh, we ought to reach Japan in 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, we seem to be holding our base course all right. I don't know whether we're making our tacks exactly right or not.
We'll get to Honolulu all right, but I don't know how we'll finish in the race. I checked the charts after breakfast. Unless we slipped up somewheres, we ought to be pretty close to the island.
I haven't seen anything that looks like an island to me.
Well, if we're lost, we're not the only ones. Look. Here.
Hey, looks like they're closing in.
We must be getting close, huh?
Maybe we're not going to be disgraced at that.
Doctor will look you over in the hospital. Nothing to worry about. You'll be all right in a couple of days.
We'll make arrangements for you to get back as soon as you're able.
Thanks. And I'm sorry if I goofed on you.
Forget it. You can't help the mumps.
I'm sorry, too, if I didn't act right. I was just trying to do a good job. Maybe I was trying a little too hard.
It's okay, son. You were trying. That's the main thing.
I think this job aged him a little.
Well, everything's okay. I checked with the base, and they've given you permission as Coast Guard auxiliary officer to fly back on the plane with me.
Thanks.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to stay in Honolulu for a while. Dad said as soon as he's free, he's going to come over and meet me, and we'll go back together. Captain John, thanks a million for a wonderful trip.
You're quite a crewman.
You too, Ed.
Anytime you want a job on a chair of land, you got it.
On behalf of the entire Coast Guard, I make a similar proposition.
Oh.
Hey, the wing tanks, Ed? Yep, we're carrying every extra drop of fuel we can. We'll need it.
Why, what's the problem?
Oh, no problem, really. Only this plane wasn't designed for transoceanic flights. It's a coastal patrol plane. And the normal capacity of fuel wouldn't be enough to take us across.
Now you tell me.
It's all right. We have enough fuel aboard.
That's very thoughtful of you. How long you figure it'll take us, Ed?
Oh, about 13 hours. 13 days to come over and 13 hours to go back. Believe me, this is the way to travel.
Just don't either of you guys get the mumps. I can't handle this ship at all. I hope you got some idea where we're going there, boy.
Relax, John. You aren't worried, are you?
Oh, I'm not worried, but when I travel 180 miles an hour, I like to see where I'm going. I can't even see the wings.
Believe me, they're still on.
I just checked with the navigator. He estimates our speed at 178 miles an hour. Our course is estimated at 061.
What's this estimating business? Isn't he sure?
Well, when we're souped in like this, we can't use celestial navigation. And we're too far out of Honolulu for a Loran fix. We'll be out of it pretty soon. Okay, Mac, thanks.
Some more estimates?
Yeah. A little worried about headwinds.
Are we bucking headwinds?
That's what I'm going to find out right now. Ocean Station Nan. This is Coast Guard 1274, over.
Coast Guard 1274, this is Ocean Station Nan, over.
And this is 274, estimating 70 miles west of your station. Requesting continuous radio beacon, radar plot, course, and ground speed check. Also winds at 9,000 feet to San Francisco, over.
1274, Nan. Roger your request. Stand by, out.
I've got the plane on target now.
Coast Guard 1274, have you in radar contact. Coast Guard 1274, this is Ocean Station Nan. At 2300 Zebra, you are bearing 290 degrees true, 60 miles from us. Ground speed 165, true course 057 degrees. 9,000 foot winds 6 hours ago, 8 knots. Did you copy? Over.
Roger, copied, okay.
That seems to clear up everything nicely.
Say, Ed, are you sure about those figures?
Yeah, Mac, why?
Well, if they're right, we've been blown off our course.
How much?
About 100 miles.
Are you sure?
There's no doubt about it.
Maybe we can make an altitude change and save some fuel.
You got a fuel problem?
I'd be kidding you if I told you we didn't. Nervous?
I'd be kidding you if I told you I'm not nervous.
NAN 274, over.
Go ahead, 274.
Those headwinds have taken us off course. Need more favorable altitude for winds, over.
Roger, 274. We're launching a balloon now. We'll have your winds in a few minutes. Stand by. Out.
Roger, NAN.
We estimate you will have a wind velocity of 15 knots from a direction of 215 within the next hour at 9,000 feet. That help you any?
Roger, NAN. If it changes that quick, I'm in good shape. If not, my fuel situation will be tight.
274, ride the beacon in over station. By then, I'll have definite wind information. If you have to set down, might as well do it close by.
Good idea. Be seeing you.
Is he hinting we might have to land on the ocean?
He had it in mind.
Really?
Would you rather get out and push? There she is. Man, we're flying over.
Roger, 274, we see you.
Can't you go a little closer?
Sure we can.
Well, never mind.
274, confirm my last transmission. At 9,000 feet, you will pick up a wind velocity of 15 knots from a direction of 215 degrees. Will that tailwind help you?
Yeah, man, we'll be okay with a little despair. Thanks, pal. Be seeing you.
It's a pretty smooth operation you fellas have got. Are you always right like this?
They don't miss.
You could have told me you didn't have to let me sweat it out alone.
What makes you think you were sweating it out alone?
Well, we hope you enjoyed tonight's story, and that you'll be with us next week for another episode of Waterfront.